Celebrity with Nene. So today, my questions are John and Sean and Lacey. All right. We're going to be doing a recap of Life After Lockup. And Reese, what was the name of this episode again?
The sober truth.
All right. Okay. So well, it wasn't today. It was yesterday, Friday, October 1st was the episode air date. All right. So the first scene, we see Brittany and Marcelino in there. Right? So they're still at the sober house trying to collect their things. So in this episode, that while they're at the house, we see, I think her name is Kanan. She all of a sudden remembers that she has a key to the house. So they try the key, they're able to gain access. So they also call the police. I guess they thought the police would be able to help them. Police said it will matter, so they couldn't really do much for them. But they still had them there, I guess, to make sure he didn't say they did something they didn't do. Alrighty, so as I stated, Robert went ahead and let them get the majority of their things out of the house, but there were some things he just wouldn't let them take with him. And then also, it appears he's already running the sober house or something because he has people in that house. They were they showed them in some of the rooms sleeping and stuff like that, and they were walking around the house and stuff. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. So what did you guys think of this episode?
Well, first of all, I'm kind of going back to what Sean said last week when he was saying that he felt like it was kind of a rigged type thing, like this was a fake. Well, I don't even know if I should use the word rigged, but it was fake, a setup or whatever.
Stage.
Yeah, stage. There you go. It felt staged because it was just so much stuff they weren't doing that they should have. And then one of the things that I felt like on this episode, we saw him last week banging on the door. He's blocking the door, not letting him in. He's yelling at him through the door. Then out of nowhere, Kanan is like, "Oh, I got my I think I have a key." And I'm like, okay, first of all, even most people do with their house, like you'll give a trusted person like an extra key. So being that this is all their business, I feel like a couple of them should have had an extra key anyways. But if you don't want to do that because this is an actual house or whatever, and you want to just leave it at the number of keys you already had, whatever. But they should have, she should have realized, or I ain't gonna say she should have realized, she knew she had a key. She knew she had a key when she left the house. She knew she had a key when she signed the lease for the place. She knew she had the key. Like, it ain't like you rent out a house and then you're like, I'm locked out. But you got your keys with you because, you know what I'm saying, you drove there, whatever the case may be. And then you're like, oh, wait, I think I have my house key. No, she knew she had that key. Now, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was lost in her purse. But you knew you had a key. And I'm sorry, if we're going to that house to collect stuff, I'm going to take that key with me. Like, I'm not going to just show up with no key, but I got the lease. You know what I'm saying? So you took the time to find a lease, but not the extra key? Like, that's ridiculous.
And something else about it, I feel like the day that she called Brittany and told Brittany, oh, we can't find him and he's gone with the money, I would have been like, okay, he's gone with the money, but I do have a key to the house. Yes. Go secure the house, go secure our things.
Yes.
I don't understand why her having a key all of a sudden came up when they were at the house.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. Like you said, they have people there. That doesn't make sense because I thought this is an up and coming thing. So I'm thinking the way they portrayed it was like they've been getting a house and preparing a house, but nobody said they had a house and people living in the house because that to me changes everything. That changes everything. Because now y'all gonna leave these drug addicts or whoever they are high and dry? Like, really? Like, now what are they supposed to do? I know there's no money, but these are still part of it.
They paid to do that.
Oh. So then, yeah, this whole thing is weird to me. Like, if they setting it up for something bigger, great. But if not, I'm just lost. I'm confused. And then, did y'all notice like when they were walking away, what else made me feel like it's staged was like Brittany was all mad, but then Marcelino was rubbing her back like, oh, don't get mad. It's okay. You lost your money. Y'all content with just getting those couple things and leaving? Like this dude still, unless they finna sue him, take him to court, do something, like everything's not okay. Y'all said y'all couldn't get your stuff. So I don't know. I'm lost. I'll let y'all give y'all opinions on it because I'm curious to see what y'all got to say.
Oh,
This is crazy.
one more thing I was going to bring up. I don't know if you guys caught this, but when Brittany was screaming through the door and Robert, she was like, "Yeah, you were talking all that big mess on the phone." I was like, "When did she speak to him?" Because he has led us to believe they don't know where he
Yeah,
is. Nobody has talked to him, but apparently you have.
yeah, that is crazy.
I don't know. So Sean or Johnny, what are your thoughts?
I'm with y'all. I think all of this is just very odd, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I was gonna say about the key thing. I still have the key to the last places that I lived. But hopefully they changed the locks. If not, I'm coming. Uh,
Mm-hmm. If not, is he frozen?
Yeah, it looks like he froze.
Oh, that's a good picture.
He's so happy.
He does. That's
You
awesome.
look so happy. That was a good
You look
picture of you
great
frozen.
frozen
You gotta
there.
look because you freeze sometimes. You can be toe up.
I
Yeah.
know. You be.
Hmm.
who was smiling? Y'all was
You
smiling when I was
you was
frozen.
You
smiling.
are
You
shocking
smile.
because
You
you
had
don't
a
know.
nice
You're
smile.
scowling and trying to argue with me.
I think Sean
No,
must have had a really good week.
no, I messed up everything. Ruined my reputation.
Okay.
That was my evil twin smiling. Yeah. And then like I said, was thinking how all of a sudden they had a key, so they must be watching our show, and we're giving them pointers on how to run it, even though this stuff is pre-recorded. It just seems that way.
Well,
Um,
they will go back and refilm stuff, so maybe that could have happened.
oh, okay, oh, okay.
Maybe they can
And then,
re-edit
too,
it too. Like, hold on,
Yeah.
let's change that up.
and then the way it ended last week was her running up talking about turn the cameras off, turn the cameras off.
Right.
You know what? I'm starting to think she has something to do with this. She has something to do with that money.
She
Mm.
has to. That I
Yeah,
mean,
because
she
didn't he
has
say?
to. There's her part has to be bigger than what we know.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you don't notice. I don't know if you're living with somebody. I can't say that it's going to be all of a sudden he just kicked me out and I didn't know what was going on. People who have drug addictions, drug addicts, they have habits. And if those habits start picking up, wouldn't at that point you be like, okay, I think he's starting to use again. Maybe we need to look into doing something else with this money. Maybe we need to see if we can get this under somebody else's name.
Yeah.
I just don't think you wake up one day, he's gone and changed, and all of a sudden, no, I don't know where he went, and he's gonna come. I think he's using again. It's just not. It's just not how it works. I thought she was part of it from the beginning because
No,
none of what she said made sense. I was totally
Yeah,
confused.
was they supposed to be getting evicted? And that's the reason why they went over there. It's just throwing that out there
that's what they
because
said.
all those
That's what
people
they said last week.
and all those people living there. I wonder if they got their eviction notice because it didn't look like you know
No, they
that
didn't
they
look
was
like they're getting
violating.
evicted anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
But then we don't know what Robert is telling them behind the scenes. Maybe he's like, "Oh, I got caught up on that rent, so they're comfortable." You know. But that's a scary thought. If
Yeah.
Robert is getting evicted and they don't know.
yeah. Especially since you say they're paying to live there. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was up.
So if they're paying to live there, like what was the 80,000 in the startup business? Is that for the company itself? Like what? I don't get it. Maybe
Probably
having more houses.
probably like startup costs. And she did mention they needed to have a couple months of rent, you know, to show the landlord that they could pay for it and stuff. So probably like their startup cost money.
Mhm. Yeah, because this whole time I thought they was getting a house. That's 80,000, and it's gonna have their own
Oh,
deal.
you thought they were going to buy a whole house?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's ain't like I was thinking of like one of those like I don't know, maybe this is not realistic or maybe I'm looking at like TV stuff, but um like that was actually a really nice house too. Like and I always felt like the houses that maybe it is TV just portraying like it'd be like them 2-story old houses that look out kind of creepy and they're not as well kept up. So like my picture of like a sober living house, I guess, is not even probably realistic then. Like I just thought they was gonna buy this big old house with like a bunch of rooms, and then you put like multiple people in a room. But those rooms I thought were more like kind of like college dormish. Like you have the rooms that lock maybe, and I don't know. It's like a regular house, excuse me, house, and it looked actually really nice.
Yeah, but from the description, I was expecting a bigger house. I thought she had said something about 7 bedrooms, a pool, and stuff. So in my mind, I was thinking a bigger house, maybe like a story house with a game room and stuff like that. Because I know, I guess, well, I don't know personally, but I would assume, you want to have like some entertainment space for them,
Yeah.
rooms and stuff like that, for them there as well. But
Yeah, I was thinking something like that also. Yeah.
And why is he living there?
well, I guess one of them would need to live there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to monitor, I guess, set rules and parameters,
Gotcha.
like, curfews and making sure people aren't coming in with their paraphernalia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
there was
throwing
something else I was about to say.
Well, I chuckle at that because he's supposed to be getting high, so and he's monitoring X.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me, he didn't act well. It's not like I've been around. I know somebody who, is addicted to painkillers, but I don't know. He didn't act he didn't act nervous. The fact that he actually called the cops, he didn't act like somebody who's been using, because most people avoid the cops if they've got drugs around the house or they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he actually called them, let them in the house, and they walk through the house freely, I don't know that he's even really using.
That's what I'm saying. For all we know, Kanan may have just said that to add some urgency to everything and then to make it seem more believable that he took the money.
Yeah.
But did y'all hear he made a little sly statement when the police was there? He was like, well, I'm glad to know that, people can just walk in whenever you want to because I may feel like trespassing on some properties myself later on. Did y'all hear when he said that?
Hmm.
Yeah, he had made that little slick comment. I was like, ooh, who are you planning on trespassing on?
Obviously them, I guess, but
Go back and get his stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, that stuff wasn't even being used. It looked like they went around back and took it out like a storage shed or something.
That's
So
what it
like,
looked like.
y'all cool with y'all invested all this money. He's got your business, and y'all gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? And supposedly all the money's gone, and y'all are good with, oh, we'll get these beds. What about that couch, the table? Furniture ain't cheap, and it's hard to get furniture right now. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, because of the shortage of everything in the world right now.
And
But
all those cargo ships sitting
mhm,
off and they can't dock yet.
yeah,
Everything.
it's not easy to get stuff. So it's like when you get it, you gotta like literally like I'd be fighting them for that, and they may go to court for that. And that's probably part of what the police were saying, like we can't just let you. Because I guess if that was the case, a husband and wife could just the wife would just come in and take the whole house, or the husband come in and take the whole house. They do gotta let that part play out. The judge has the award, whatever. But I mean, they did have a whole lot of stuff that they took, and then on top of that, just the fact of I don't know. I'm curious to see what else is gonna happen because he was saying like he don't know nothing about the money. He didn't take no money. And I know you're gonna say that in front of the police, even if you're guilty.
Yeah.
But it just makes me further wonder, like, does he even really know what's going on? Because he didn't really seem mad, like, what are y'all talking about? But he was like, I don't have what you're talking about, or whatever, but we'll see. Because I'm suspecting Kanan now.
Yeah.
Also, I'm thinking they're gonna have a hard time trying to prove stuff because their name's not on anything but the lease.
Yeah.
Spent all the money, and the money came out of his account, and they can have all the receipts they want. He can pull up his bank account and say, "Well, yeah, that receipt is from the account and such, and you see my name is on this account." So tell them to give me my stuff back. So
That dude might be the biggest, smartest con artist ever.
Are you thinking he may be a Bernie Madoff?
I don't know, but I mean, what Sean just said is legit. Like,
Yeah.
what can you prove? Yeah, y'all bought all this stuff. Y'all had the receipts, but it's from his bank account. He got receipts too.
Yeah.
He got statements.
Yeah.
Right. And they never got anything in writing. Everything was verbally done.
That was the
You're
dumbest.
talking about $80,000.
Yeah.
I would not. That's just common sense that you would have something in writing, some type of contract, something.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder why the husband, considering that they gave $8,000, why he wouldn't have wanted to make sure to see that their money was safe, or that they had a contract, not just going based off words. Like, that's a lot of money to just invest in something and have
The investors too.
nothing. The
Yeah.
investors, all of that sounds so shady. What
Yeah, but
investor
it's
is going to sit there and give $20,000, $30,000,
Right.
$40,000 with no paperwork?
That's what I'm saying. Like, where are these people at? I do have a business idea.
Yeah.
Y'all come and invest in me.
I know, y'all ain't got to do no. We ain't no proof of nothing. You just got to drop the money and then hope that it really happens. Now I can see if this was like, a drug house. You want to invest in a drug house? Yeah, ain't no paper trail.
Right.
But this is freaking a legit business. Like, you're helping real people, and I'm like, so whether it's girl, whether it's him, like, y'all playing with people's lives. Like, y'all gonna push these people back to drugs, like, literally.
Yeah. And then
I tried to get right, and I got in this sober house, and look what happened. Now I'm back in the street.
Imagine you're in a sober house, you're asleep, chilling, and somebody comes in and just flips on your light and like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
You came to take the bed. What?
And then
when you get out that bed, I know
the
you were
covers
taking
over
a
their
nap.
head.
Yeah, like, I know you were taking a nap, but please get out the bed. We're confiscating.
Yeah, I've been hot to trot, boy.
Yeah. What if you came downstairs like, I'm hungry or thirsty? You like got your little pajamas on. You ain't prepared for this, and the whole camera crew busts in like,
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's not. That's why I was shocked that there was that many people. I thought it was when they said there was people in there. I thought they meant like other like drug dealers, drug addicts. He up in there just getting high with a bunch of his friends. I didn't realize these are the people that live there. Like, y'all crazy.
Because if you came in the room with the camera lights on, I'd be like, oh, I'm on an episode of Cops.
Yeah.
They better be glad wasn't nobody in there crazy that would do something nasty just because y'all came bust in here. Like, what? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so the next couple that we see is Shane and Lacey. All right, so they are headed off to the gym together. So as they go into the gym, I feel like Lacey was acting weird going into the gym. So I don't know why Shane didn't pick one. Like, let me not take this girl into this gym because something ain't right with her today. But he took her in there. He started showing her, some workout moves and stuff like that. And a lady comes over and she starts talking to Shane. And I do have to admit, it was a little flirtatious. It was at least friendly, a little friendly. And so when the lady walks away, of course, Lacey's upset, which I was shocked that Lacey stayed to the side and she didn't interrupt them. Because I could have totally understood if she walked over there while they're having a conversation, like, and who are you? But she didn't do that. And she waited till the girl left. And then she confronts Shane. And then she threatens to leave Shane at the gym. So they start fighting. And they're just kind of going back and forth. Lacey's letting him know that she doesn't trust him. She also lets him know that she went through his phone and saw that girl had been texting him. And he didn't deny it and say, that's not the girl that was texting me or anything. So he didn't deny that, but he just feels like it was completely innocent, and Lacey just won't let go of the fact that he cheated once before. So he actually offers to take a lie detector test. And Lacey's like, yeah, you could take it, and you have to pay for it as well. So what did y'all think of Shane and Lacey?
That's the problem with cheating. If you take somebody back who cheated on you, you have to let it go. You have to move forward. And she is not moving forward. She is totally stuck, I think personally, as an excuse for her to go and cheat.
Yep.
There was nothing. I'm sorry. Being in a gym, working out, talking to guys, whatever the case may be, it's not always flirtatious. She didn't touch him. She didn't give him any kind of indication. She didn't give any kind of indication that something more was going on outside of them working out. He continued the conversation because the man who's cheating on you with the woman who's standing in front of you is not going to continue the conversation. He's going to like, hey, my chick over there, and it's like, go away. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of indication for you to leave. He didn't do that. He finished the whole conversation. The one thing he could have probably done and said, hey, you want to meet my wife? He could have said that, but whatever. At the end of the day, it just, he is not acting like a man who is doing something on the side. And I would be totally surprised if he is, but he's just not acting that way. He's totally upfront. He didn't lie about her texting. He said they had been working out. And it is something when you're working out, you do want to hear, hey, you look good. Oh, I noticed the change.
Yeah, I did understand that explanation. I totally
Yeah.
did.
He didn't have to hear it for himself, but she has to hear it because he's been working out with her. So it's kind of maybe he could be selling himself. Maybe working out in a gym, being a gym instructor or a workout coach. Yeah, it's something he wants to do. And he has to learn how to be, I guess it's personable with the women or men that he works out with. So that's to get his word out. Maybe that's where it's going. But she totally she just totally took that left. And I think he was excited that she wanted to do something with him. And that's why he didn't really pay too much attention. But then as she was walking around, he noticed, like, why does she have on makeup? She looks dressed up. Like, I was thinking, like, who goes to the gym with makeup on? You're going to see what the other chick looks like to see if your first impressions, because first impressions are everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel sorry for him. I really do. And even like he told her, I'm married. We are married. It's not like we're boyfriend, girlfriend. So he takes his vows seriously. So it seems outside of her. She doesn't.
Mm-hmm. So when he cheated, they were married, or they just was boyfriend girlfriend?
No,
Well, she found out they weren't married when he cheated on her, but she found out when they were married.
And then they were married, and then that's when she cheated on him.
Well, she cheated on him after she found out he cheated on her.
So then they were married.
So they were married.
Oh yeah, they were married.
Okay, so he cheated, but she had an affair.
Yeah. Basically.
Right. Yeah. So with that, it's how she don't want to let go of him cheating on her, but she
before they were married.
Right, and she don't say anything about the affair, and he don't even say anything about the affair when they talked to him when he was doing his confession. And but the thing that got me was the fact that he was sitting there talking to the girl, and she was just on the bicycle, just sitting on the bicycle. If she's so concerned about meeting the other woman, and she don't know if that's the other woman or not, she should have got off the bicycle, walked over there, and said, "Hey, my name is Mrs. Shane," and then that way the woman would know whether she is cheating with him or not, that he's off the table. If she's not, if she's interested in him, the woman would know that he's not available because his wife is here. But if she was, then she would know that, oh, this is your wife, and I don't think I can take her, so I'm gonna leave you alone. Some kind of way she should have made it known that she was who she was, instead of sitting there waiting for her to leave, and then pick up the weight, and then she gonna hit him while he got the weight. That thing could have failed and killed him, and then that'd have been something totally different. But so she just stood there, and then she's fussing at him, talking about, I'm trying to be all polite and quiet about the whole ordeal. But my thing is, she came there with the mind to look for another woman, so she can have an excuse to justify herself calling old boy. Because
and then she wants a reason to bust it wide open for him.
Right.
Because, like I said, if she was really just about trying to figure out what's truly going on, I think she would have came over there and said something while they were having that conversation. She stayed out to the sideline so that you can still dangle that over him later on. Still, like, well, I still don't know what was going on between you two, really. So she can keep it going, so she can continue to talk to John. If she confronted them, then she may have gotten resolution. Then she can't talk to John anymore because she got her resolution that Shane wasn't doing anything. That's the way I kind of look
Yeah,
at it.
because I saw on the other show where Team Karen, her husband had got a phone call,
Mm-hmm.
like call a person back, and she said, "Hello, this is such and such."
Yeah, she was like, "This is Mr. Ray. This is Mrs. Ray. Ray Huger." Yeah,
Right. Yeah, because she let the other woman know, So that's why I think she should have took that note and did the same thing. But I agree that she just don't want to get confirmation, so
she
that
does.
she.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't want it.
And then to her defense about her getting all dressed up to go to the gym, well, I think the first episode, he got all dressed up, took a shower, and got cleaned up, put on cologne and all that type of stuff to go work out. So that's why I was like, well, he shouldn't have said anything about that part because he did
Yeah,
the same, So,
yeah.
but I do get it. You don't need to get that beautified to go work up a sweat. So, but yeah, but I felt bad for Shane because and the lie detector thing, I would have said, well, two things. When she had said that I went through your phone, I was like, why you went through my phone? You wouldn't like it if I can go through your phone. So matter of fact, give me your phone and let me go through your phone and see who you've been talking to, see who you've been texting. And then if she would have denied it, then I'd be like, oh, so you got something to hide because so you got something to hide because you don't want to give me your phone freely. I'd have did that. Then the other thing, when she said about the lie detective, I'd have been like, okay, I'll take one, but you take one too. Because obviously, we got trust issues, but he don't have trust issues. But yet,
Sean,
I would have told him.
I'm sorry. You kind of ran through that scenario as if you've gone through the same scenario. Very smooth. No, you give me your. Yeah, Sean. Are we reliving a chapter in
No,
Sean?
no. Just past experiences with other people and their problems and how they did not handle it, and then I've learned from their mistakes. So that's all. Little wisdom. Game recognize game and player hater recognize player hater type thing. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so now I know what to tell sis. Be like, look, if Sean starts talking about a phone, make sure you don't have your phone in the same room. Have it locked in your car or something. Because he's going to get your phone.
Yeah, but like, hey.
That's twice. That's twice you done showed your true colors. That's twice.
Really?
Yeah, you. Because you might have forgot the first time. Because the first time you had said that you was gonna rat Joni out. No, so yeah.
You see, I'm getting bullied on this Saturday afternoon.
Because
just bullied.
And then you was gonna help out your friend to cheat on.
To cheat, yep.
I was trying to help you, and look, you telling on me now.
You said that you was gonna tell on her later on down the road. So
I don't remember that part.
I know you don't remember that.
Tell your people how to hide their phone.
Yeah. See, told you, player hater. That be me. I would rat you out. So I'm ratting you out.
So.
The way I got attacked last week, I should expect this from you, Sean.
I'm just being shady, not reasonable.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
We are allowed to be shady on here. So,
Yeah.
So I got a couple things on that. So I won't say she has absolutely no reason to be like weary of him simply because like they went from having sex all the time to not much, which he knew her appetite when he met her. So hey, shouldn't have changed just because of the baby. Although we know why it's changed, but she doesn't know why.
On that, they should talk because I was going to say because you just reminded me about that part because the father had talked to Shane, so obviously the father did not talk to his daughter because if he'd have talked to his daughter, she would have got the answer to what you were just saying.
Yeah,
the reason why.
So Assuming that she hasn't talked to the dad, because she may have, and she's still, like y'all said, using it as an excuse so she can keep talking to John. But, because I mean, I stand behind a man is the reason women be crazy at the time. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to let men make us crazy, but men make us crazy because y'all do crazy stuff. And I will say, like, yeah, she's overly she's overly jealous, and that's because she's doing wrong too. Well, she's doing wrong. I ain't gonna say too because I don't think he's doing that either. And if he is, I'm with Johnny. I'll be surprised. But I understand why she's already super insecure. We see how she looks. Like, so she's constantly trying to fix her looks because she's insecure. Not saying everybody that does plastic surgery is insecure, but most people have insecure things. But I think when you start really like, and I ain't talking about just like some body things or maybe even like when you start getting like crazy sizes of things, or you start getting like, to the point where your face looks like you're walking plastic surgery, like it's because you got some insecurities, because you don't keep going back and doing some of the same stuff over and over unless you think it's giving you a look, but that look is obviously not a good one, because I'm sorry, like she probably would be prettier if she didn't do whatever it is she's doing to her face. And can't nobody tell me she ain't doing no plastic surgery, because she is. So we already know she's insecure, and she admits it all the time. She's insecure. And that's probably why she can't get past her jealousy and her anger of his cheating, because she don't have any confidence in herself. So now every little thing that he does, hence going and putting the cologne on for the gym. Maybe he puts it on because he sweats and he gets musty easy. I don't know. But it is, to me, an indicator. If we ain't having sex and then you all of a sudden you want to go to the gym every day, and every time you go to the gym you showering, you putting on the cologne, but then when you come home from the gym, I don't see you doing that. You get clean when you get home too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he does when he gets
And
home.
then to jump onto what you said, PSA for everybody. It is not a good idea to put on cologne when you've been sweating. I'm sorry, just throw it out there. It's not going to be a good mixture. So I get it. Some people think that. So, and then Angelo says it's not always the man that makes women crazy. Only sometimes. And I gotta agree with I agree with you to a certain extent, but men will be crazy at times, especially when he's gaslighting her.
I'm gonna say that because no matter what, women are already thrown on the crazy table, like from birth. I feel like as soon as we come out the womb, we crazy. You know what I'm saying? And men can be psycho, but nobody want to call them crazy until they get caught up in their stuff.
I didn't realize how crazy I was until
a
man pushed me there.
A man.
So, men push you there. If men, you know what? If men would just be 100% honest in all the shit they want to do and give me the option to know that I'm going to be either your side chick, your main piece with side chicks, this, that, and the other, guess what? We wouldn't go crazy. But the way y'all lie and manipulate people, oh my gosh, yes.
Now, you have to say,
I did not know I was crazy
not all men,
until a man pushed me there.
Not all men, and not all women. So people in general make people crazy. So it's not all men make all women crazy.
No,
just like
it's
not. Yeah. So
she didn't say all men. She just said that a man will make a woman go crazy.
Said men. No, she said men make women go crazy.
Men, but I'm saying because that's usually usually the mixture of it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I do feel like sometimes like men when you're dealing with a shady man, or when, you know what I'm saying, sometimes men have a lot of issues with like expressing themselves, and sometimes that causes women to go crazy if it's a woman who expresses herself. So I do feel like on some of that aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's giving her reason to suspect him. It's just probably he's not realizing he's giving her the reason. So in his defense, he don't know that he's being as distant, maybe, or maybe he really is. He's sleepy, he's tired, he's depressed. Like, but the fact that he's not talking to her about any of that, all she can think of is like, but she's giving him all the signs to say, like, are you cheating on me? I feel like you don't love me. I feel like you're not attracted to me, this and that. He should tell her, like, I'm depressed. I'm sorry. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he's not really talking about it. So I don't know, because he said it to the dad. But
I think she puts way too much of her worth in sex.
yeah, she did.
Just because the guy sleeps with you 3 times a day doesn't mean he loves you. Just because.
That's
So
true.
her self-worth is just shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's totally.
She's insecure. Like, and the level of it is actually like, it makes her uglier to me, because I'm like, dude, she's extra. Because I agree with the whole thing at the gym. Like, she could have went over and said something, made herself known, but then to me that would have probably come off as crazy. I think he should have said, hey, I want you to come meet my wife too. Like, hey, honey, I'm helping her work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that would have been a better scenario than her having to come over, because that would have been awkward.
I agree with you on that, but my thing is, since she is going there looking for the other woman, she should go over there and make a scene.
Because then she crazy.
Well, then if she come off as crazy, then the other women gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna mess with this dude because his wife is crazy. So
true, but
wife don't play. So, and then he could have brought her over there and been like, look here, I'm going to introduce you to my wife. Just play it off. You know, this is my wife. So you know that this is my wife, you my side chick. You know, or I'm leaving my wife soon, but I just want you to introduce you to my wife. You know, you could have been playing that. So that's why I said she'd have went over there. She'd have made it known. Then everybody in there would have been like, no, we don't mess with Shane. Shane's off the block. So, but sometimes it is necessary to be crazy. So,
I can see that.
Yeah, sometimes, but I just didn't get that vibe with them. I didn't get that it was beginning to something more. I didn't get that. Just looking at them interact.
I guess the part that made it weird was the whole, okay, I'll text you later and all this stuff. It's like, be gym partners. And I guess, you got to communicate somehow. But maybe saying like, hey, this is my wife, she's standing right here, could have looked like he was trying to hide something. Or her coming over come off crazy. So I don't know. That's a touchy situation anyways, in my opinion, because it could go either way on how it looks.
Right.
Maybe said something like, yeah, text me the time you want to come work. Well, you know what? Because then that'll sound fake too. So I don't know. I don't know what could have fixed that situation other than the girl not coming over there. But if she didn't come over there, then it would have been boring probably, because we wouldn't have nothing to talk about for that scene. But
what we had to talk about would have been her going over there and then saying, okay, this is my man. Who you think you are? So we'd have been talking about that.
Yeah, but I'm saying if the girl never showed up, period. Like,
she never.
The only way to avoid that scene getting crazy was for that girl never to show up. But we needed something to talk about, so she had to show up. But the other thing that I was thinking too, with her, the way she was dressed, could have been one. Yes, you want the other woman, if there's another woman there, to see how good you look. But I felt like her outfit was super cute. She didn't have to do the full face makeup. But I do know people like her, like, they're not going to walk out the house without full face makeup no matter where they go. So it may be where it's awkward and weird to somebody. I don't know why he wouldn't have thought it was, why he thought it was weird, because I feel like she's probably that type that always is
in makeup.
Full face, never like light makeup. Because she could even just hit light makeup where it doesn't look like she's wearing makeup. Because I've put a little like foundation, because I want to be sweaty. So like it'll help clog up some of that sweat is what I think, even though it
does it really?
I don't know.
I guess powder foundation will.
Yeah. But probably even that, I don't know if it'll really stop all of it, because if you're really working out, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I work out quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, in some vanity, I ain't never went to the gym full face, because I know you're gonna sweat, and that's the worst thing to me is the sweat and then everything dripping down. And yeah, I ain't never did all that. But I have made, I done went with some cute gym clothes, and I'm like, I'm feeling myself because my gym clothes is cute, and I look good in these gym clothes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
To me, it could have been that way.
Yeah, and then we don't know what type of foundation she had on, because let me tell you, and Reese is my witness, I went to Disney World, and I was wearing Fenty foundation, and my foundation did not budge, and it was in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, it was hot.
So it depends on what kind of foundation she has on
You said
too.
that was Fenty?
Hmm.
I have Fenty.
Yep, I
Maybe
was
I'll
at
try
Disney
and see what I
World
can do the
all
next time I
day.
go see my gym crush.
I know. Look,
All day.
I do a bun and put that foundation, and just a little
Oh, put that
mascara.
foundation on.
Look, just a little mascara, none
Just
else.
a little bit.
But like the fact that she was full up, like, yeah, it's awkward. But I think he knows how she is. I don't think that this is abnormal for her. She probably go to get gas and get full up. Like, unless she's sick, and I think at that point she wouldn't leave the house.
She wouldn't leave
She
the
just
house.
seems like her insecurities are too much. Like, I don't think because even when they went to the beach, I think her face was full of makeup. So
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very insecure. Absolutely. Alrighty, so next we have Deontay and Nicole made an appearance on this episode. All right, so
See
Deontay
that
goes to
picture?
meet up.
You froze, Nene. I was laughing.
Oh,
I
I
said,
did.
see that?
Okay. Yeah, so they meet. Deontay meets up with Nicole. I'll speak on this in just a second. And so we see Nicole pull up, and Tia is in the vehicle with her. But Tia doesn't get out. They drive, Tia drives off in the vehicle. And so when Deontay sees her, I was wondering if he was going to say something about it because one of the first things I noticed about her is that she's lost weight. And so he does mention it. And he also says that, she looks bad right now. Like she looked like a Barbie doll. She looked very self confident when she was with him. And, he's saying he's already immediately noticing that difference there. And of course, Nicole starts crying during their meeting, which for me, I didn't feel like she was necessarily feeling sad. I felt like almost like weaponizing her tears kind of thing. Alrighty. And so she offers Deontay a three-way relationship with her and Tia. But I kind of get the feeling, but I could be wrong with this, is that Deontay is not thinking that this is going to be a relationship where Tia and Nicole have their thing and then him and Nicole have their thing. I believe he's thinking literally almost a three-way kind of thing. And so he actually tells her that he'll think about it. Yeah, and he says that he feels like, because he did throw it out there, he's like, hey, how are you doing financially? How are you paying for things? And since she didn't use that as an opportunity to ask him for money, he feels like that's a good thing and that there's something there, and that's why she didn't ask for money. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to you guys to let y'all tell me what y'all think of these, the scene between Deontay and Nicole. So, Shawn, you want to go first?
Not really. But what was it? Because when they came on, I was
Okay, here's what I found.
hold on. I don't know what you found.
that's at Google listening. I'm telling you.
I almost turned the thing off. Because when she bust out crying, I was like, man, this is foolishness. And I started to turn the show off, and I was going to go do something. I don't know, pull weeds or something. Because that just was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, but I think she do know that the other girl that he was dating had died. And he didn't call her or something, call her back, and she wound up dying, and he feel regrets about that. So I think she was crying, even though she said she was having an anxiety attack. Or she could have been feeling guilty and started having a panic attack because she really didn't want to ask the man for the money, or she didn't know how to ask him for the money because she didn't know how he was going to respond once she asked for the money. So that's why I say kudos to her for playing at the end. Like, oh, no, I don't need your money, because she's playing them, pulling on the string. And then that way he come back later on and then she can ask and get it because, play mind games, Jedi mind games.
Yeah.
But it's just that whole thing was sickening because he started crying, talking about what he was about to cry, about he feeling guilty. I should have fought hard for her. think that I need to be in the relationship because the other girl,
Yeah.
Tia, is treating her bad, and I need to be there to be her hero, and blah blah blah. And then she look at her, she's losing all the weight, because she said she had COVID. She even told him he had COVID. Told him she had COVID, and she's like, "Oh, I don't think it's COVID. I think it's abusive." But he didn't say abusive, but think that she's being
Hey,
bad,
yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
scared, and it's the girl. And then girl ain't feeding her, because if she would have stayed with me, I'd have fed her. At least I'd have been feeding her. So uh, he's a sucker. He's a fool. Um, I just hope that he go and talk to his boy, because even though in the preview they show he talked to his mom, but I hope he talked to Derek, and maybe Derek can talk some sense into him. But I think he's down for it.
Derek has some good advice for him, but the issue is he just won't listen for whatever reason. And I did kind of I can't even say I did get aggravated when he was trying to make it seem like Nicole is possibly being influenced by Tia. I don't believe there's any influence going on. That's what Nicole wants to do.
Right, right. And then we know that her and Tia is like, yeah, go ahead on, because Tia want the money too, because Nicole
Yeah,
have to work now.
and I mean, for me, if I knew I was playing somebody and my significant other was okay with me going out here to go play them, I wouldn't feel good about that.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Now, if I was Deontay, what I would have said when she had asked about the three-way, I would have pushed the issue. I say, well, okay, so what is this here? How's it going to work? Because he had talked about every guy dream about having two women at one time. So that's what he should have asked her. Are we going to do this sit together at one time? Or am me and you going to have sex? Not wait on her. He just should have brought it all up, since she wants to, you know. So
Yeah,
is
I
it going to
mean,
be
he's
you,
comfortable
me
talking
with
about
her?
sex
I see your
with
face.
her with other people. Here she is, talk about sex with her right
Right.
now.
Right, exactly. Saying that, and LR does this relationship means that we're gonna take turns, and then is it just gonna be the three of us, or are you gonna bring in somebody else later on? Can I bring in somebody? I would have been
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
I'd have been trolling.
And I have somebody too.
Mhm. So when you with Tia, can I be with someone else? And then me and my partner be with you, so that way we have our three-way, and then I be with y'all three, and then everybody get to eat their cake and have their ice cream too. So because Nicole is the only one that's going to be, well, Tia too, because she get the money that Deontay gives to Nicole. So, and I don't think Deontay is going to get anything out of it that he thinks that he's going to get. Yeah, because I can just see it. Because when she was talking about she want a booze job, uh, and Tia don't want to with a booze job, I'm thinking she's gonna get that 8,000. Well, it probably was 8,000, but now that Deontay gonna pay for it, she gonna tell Deontay 12,000 so she can pocket the four, or she might even get the 6,000 one so she can pocket the rest of the money, and just use him for his money. That's all. And at this point, he deserved it, because you done been played by the woman. She showed you her true colors, and yet
Yeah.
you still opened up that door and allow her to come in. So everything that happens is all on you. I don't blame her for anything going forward.
Yeah.
But you know something I thought about too in the scene. I said, you know what? If he gets together with her with this three-way thing, what if Tia comes up with the bright idea? Oh, we can get double the money from him. How about I pretend like I'm into him too, so I can get money on my own from him?
Well, she gonna have to
It's
put on
too much. Hmm?
yeah, she gonna have to put on a wig and do some other stuff, because he already said she looks like
But she might. Look what Lisa has done. She went through in those tacky extensions,
Mhm.
to capture what Stan wanted. So Tia might do the same thing. Might be willing.
There is
And then
nothing about
Nicole
Tia.
knows. Uh,
I was just
I was
saying,
just
there's
saying. And
nothing
then
about
Nicole
Tia
knows
that looks. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
womanly. Yeah, no, that looks womanly. Yeah, I completely agree with you. But she may flip that switch. To get that money from Deontay. Um, if she thinks there's money there to get, she might wait. Yeah. So what did you think of it, Johnny?
You know those TikTok memes where it says like if this was a face? So it's like
Mm.
if Save the Day were a face.
Yeah.
If this, with whatever action was a face. So if
Yeah.
if Captain Save a Hoe was a face, it would be Deontay's.
It be Deontay, yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Again, I'm with Shawn. Anything that happens to him after this point, that's all on him. Because everybody has told him. Everybody has told
Yes,
him. And
and
like
I
you
feel
said,
like all the signs are there. Yeah,
yeah.
all the signs are there for him to see.
If he really had paid attention to the circumstances surrounding her comeback, surrounding her crying, surrounding the fact that she didn't ask him for money this time, she is playing him like such a fiddle, and it's just disgusting to watch. It's hard. The show is getting harder and harder to watch because these people are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an hour of my life I can't get back. Watching these dumb ass people. All right, I'm done.
So, my opinion on it. So a part of like now, don't get me wrong. I don't think she planned them because it was a setup in the beginning, regardless of when she saw. But I do think that when she saw him face to face, it did remind her of some of the things she did like about him, and I think it is a friendship thing. So I think do I think she's lying about that little friendship piece of it? I don't think so because she said it away from him too. She was like, "Well, I know Tia thinks this." She said, "But I enjoy being around him." So I don't think it's 100%. Now, her using him, yes, that's fake. Her not being a good friend, um, that part, obviously we see that. But do she actually miss him for real for the money? Yeah, but I think too, um, I think a part of her did enjoy some like the conversations maybe or some things, certain things about him. But she's kind of done so much that part is out the window. Like because she keeps playing him and making him look like a fool. So even if she really is, she's having panic attacks because she's sad that she has to do this because that's just what she does. And that part of her wish she didn't have to do it, but she's gonna do it because this is who she is. Um, so she's a trifling person, period. The crying, some of it I think is real, some was fake, but I just don't know why she was crying. Like I think it was part of an act, but also the panic attack stuff and her like I'm wondering like is it because she felt bad for what she was about to do because she see him face to face and I mean he might be gullible and he might be a sweet dude, but she knows she killing him. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand why he went and cried and why he's taking how she looks all on himself because just like his ex, it ain't his fault. And I wish he grew up and see that it's not his fault. Like the ex, even if she killed himself because she couldn't get a second chance, you don't want somebody to be with you, and the only reason they're alive is because you giving them a second, because you're gonna be with them, because then you're their lifeline, period, and you don't want to be nobody's
Yeah,
lifeline.
it just been right there. Like his ex died of an overdose. I'm
Mm-hmm.
remembering right. And if somebody died of an overdose, that's not like them committing suicide because you wouldn't answer the phone.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes people OD because they just take too much because they don't. You know what I mean? Like so. If you were to take a whole bunch of pills, it's still an overdose, but but I know hers was drugs. And I think
Yeah,
it could
hers was like illegal drugs.
but she might have just kept going farther than what she's ever went because she just didn't care and then it ended up killing her. Um so yeah, it might not have been a suicide and yeah, it may have been a legit overdose, but he still carries that and that's why he keeps putting that on Nicole too. And two, that might be his excuse for why he can't let
I
go.
think it's his excuse more than
Well, I know
anything.
when he cried and he talked about the other girl too. Like,
Yeah, when you talk about the other girl, I believe he does feel like some guilt about the other girl, but I think he's allowing that to be his reason to keep
mhm.
Nicole around. You know what I'm
He
saying?
is.
He's making his excuse his
Mhm.
reason.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I kind of think.
he is, and that's why I said I wish he would like realize like even if she had to commit suicide because he didn't want to talk to her no more, that's still not his. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would feel bad at the end of the day, but I can't be the reason that you live. You know what I mean? Like you got to live for you, because if not, then what happens? I can never leave. I can never leave. If we're unhappy, I still got to stay, because if I leave, you're gonna kill yourself. It's just a matter of when at that point. And then if Nicole is falling apart, she had a good man, so that's on her. Like if let's say that it isn't just the COVID, the reason that she's skinny. Maybe her and Tia together, y'all were both drug addicts. Getting together probably isn't healthy. Um, and supposedly they're just scamming people already. So, you never know what they're doing. But if they are doing drugs, not saying they are, because COVID, if she had it twice, like, she probably got worse the second time around. Um, it's like I don't know, like he's carrying that weight that ain't his to carry. Because if she chose that life, that's the life she chose. Like he did what he could. She chose to be with Tia, and I would have left it at that. Like, if anything, I mean, granted, like, yeah, she did look sickly. I would have took pride in, like, I look at you now. Look at me. I look normal, healthy, whatever. You look a hot mess. Hi, should have stayed, dummy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would have felt. But I'd have been like, man, I seen that she look like straight garbage. And I'd have been, you know what I'm saying? That'd have been helped me get over it. Like, dang, I've dodged a bullet, because look how this chick look. You know what I'm saying? But he carrying it as, oh no, I better save her so she don't kill herself or die or end up, and I guess he don't want her to overdose because he thinks she on drugs, which she could be, but that ain't
Yeah.
his problem.
But I mean, he could get back together with her and she still OD.
Because if she back on drugs, getting back with him ain't gonna do nothing but supply more money, and I don't want that. I wouldn't want that.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, you didn't ask for money. Oh my
And then
God.
it was his face he was making when he was like, "How are you doing financially?" I'm like,
Mhm.
shut up, Deontay. You just want to give her some money. Open up your wallet and just give it to her.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, just give her the money. Like, stop playing games. Like the girl said, like, and I feel like even when she asked for the necklace, piece of her was serious, but at the same time, she laughing because she knew he wouldn't give her the necklace. And I feel like, hey, we know it. I made a fool of you, whatever. It's a running joke now, whatever. But I'm changed. I don't really want your necklace. I don't want this or that. So, haha, we laugh. But I just feel like he's feeling like because of where he stands financially, which I don't know if this dude has got just this ton of money that he be making himself out to on the
I
show.
don't think that.
No,
But
he said he was in debt. Remember, he said bill collectors were calling him because he couldn't pay bills.
yeah, so why you throwing your little money you got around? Like, it's like, live your best life now that you free of that mess and quit it. But he all like, you financially where you at? And then his little clip to the, the little side thing was like, oh, she gonna ask me for money. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting on it. And she was like, all right then. Okay, you don't need nothing. Like, just stop. If you're gonna give her the money, shut up.
Right.
Yeah. Something else I'm getting from his scenes is that he is the type of person he needs to feel needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like he's putting himself in a situation so that she'll need him, kind of instead of realizing that's not need. She just wants to use you, and you're giving her everything she wants.
Stupid.
Yeah. He's a very big simp. All right, as his friend said, what do you call him? The king of simps? Yeah, that's what he called him. Yeah. All right. So the next couple we saw was Shawn and Sarah. And I'm sorry, guys. Shawn and Sarah, to me, they're the most annoying couple on the show right now. To me, so Shawn gave Sarah an ultimatum. Clearly, Sarah did not like him doing that. She had a problem with that ultimatum. And so we see her talking to her mom. She's telling her mom, kind of what's going on with her and Shawn and about the ultimatum. And her mom is like, you've come such a long way. Just continue to be a great mom. And, you kind of don't let him pressure you into anything, or whatever. And so then we see a scene of Shawn arriving at a restaurant. He's like, oh, I hope she shows up. But when he walks into the restaurant, he does see that she is there waiting for him. So she did give in to his ultimatum. And so while they're sitting there eating, he kind of he starts pressuring. I guess I shouldn't say kind of. He did. He started pressuring her that, well, now that he's seen her, now he wants to meet her daughter and her mom, which Sarah is hesitant about. She is, and so, but she slipped in. Well, how about go with me while I go tanning? You can watch me tan or whatever. And Shawn is like, am I paying for this tanning trip? She never says yes, but the way her giggles and laughter and stuff was, it was obvious. Yes, she wanted him to go and pay. And then he asked her, "Am I paying for this meal as well?" And it's like,
Oh no, she asked him. She said, "You paying for this meal
oh
too?"
yeah, she asked him about that, and you could tell he was bothered about the he's supposed to pay for the tanning, and then he was also, it seemed, a little bit annoyed that he was also paying for the breakfast, but I don't think he was annoyed because he's cheap and doesn't want to pay. But I think he's just starting to get that feeling back that maybe she's using me for financial gain. All right. So, what did y'all think of Shawn and Sarah this week?
uh, the ultimatum. Um, at, well, I didn't have a problem with it because the reason why is because when she had told him not to follow me about the car, so I was like, well, hey, then I ain't got a problem with him saying either you come or you don't. Now, but the other stuff, now I can see why he wants to meet the mom and the daughter because I don't think that he believes that the mom and the daughter is real. He thinks that she's with another man. So
Yeah.
this way, if he meets the mom and the daughter, then he'd be like, "Oh, okay, they are real people."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but the paying for the breakfast, since he was the one that wanted her to be there, and he shouldn't have a problem with paying for the breakfast at all because that was his.
Right.
So you be there or you don't. So if she came, then that means you should pay for whatever she bought. And if it was her, I'd have just ordered the whole left side of the menu, and then been like, "Okay, you wanted me to come here? Fine, give me everything on the left side, even if I was to the stuff that was on the left side, I still would have ordered it." And then the tanning thing that was kind of smooth how she slide that in there. But I was kind of thinking about last week when there was talk well, the last time when they was talking about the money, and he said that he gave her. She asked for money, and she was like, he just gave her money. I'm thinking he did ask for it in a way to make him just give it to her without asking for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm tired of them too. So yeah, they get on my nerves also. Because
Yeah. And then,
I don't want to be with him, but because in her confession, how she's saying that how dare him give me an ultimatum, and that kind of made me feel angry. Then I'd be like, well, if you didn't like that, then that should be your sign.
yeah, you can get out now.
Right.
Oh,
So then it's his fault you got out. Then later on, well, he's a good man, and I deserve to be in a good relationship, and blah blah blah, and she's there. And then to the camera people, because when they came in the restaurant, I could have sworn they had the camera go in that direction where she was at, and nobody was there. So it kind of make it seem like nobody was there, and then he came
they
back.
did play us with that. Yeah.
They did.
So I was like, okay, that's them. Shame on them again. But other than that, yeah, I just didn't care for those people because I told you I kind of lost interest after the whole Deontay crying mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other people brought me back in. These people didn't do nothing for me. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it.
But to add on to what you were saying, Shawn, I also believe he wants to meet the mom and the daughter. So once he meets them, then it's not like, oh, you can't come over because you've never met my mom and never met my daughter before. So then, she has no reason to be keeping this distance.
Yeah.
So I think that was also part of it. Yeah.
Also too, because with that, how she was saying that it only been 2 months, because and they've been talking the whole time for 2 months. So I was like, well, that's nothing wrong with that. You've been talking, still communicating. It's like you didn't have any communication But she keep on using the mother and the daughter. So I guess yeah, that does make sense for him to take that excuse away.
Mm-hmm.
But he should understand too. Well, even if you do believe that the people are real, he why he wants to meet the daughter, because he and kids don't go together. So it's like he just disappeared from children. So he see that
Right.
as a kid. He gonna,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, children aren't a commitment for him.
yeah, yeah. So yeah.
But the daughter's important to her, so I guess the daughter will be important to him.
Well, the other 6 kids was important to
Yeah, but that's his
And
kid.
your mom,
oh, those his kids, so that's
Yeah,
different.
I'm saying what's important to the girl he with is what's important to him.
yeah,
So
Got,
her daughter and mom are important.
yeah,
Mhm.
gotcha.
But I also agree. Like they annoyed me because they're like she's so wishy washy. Like you said, one minute she's saying he's annoying, she's mad at this, and next minute she's saying I deserve a good man. So I don't know. I mean, either you thought he was a good man from the beginning or not. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You didn't. This ain't just well he's giving me an ultimatum now and he's a good man, so let me give him a try. Like you just don't want to lose whatever the gain is you're getting from being with him. Either is you don't like. I mean, she legit may be like I don't know how to do the two. So right now it's important for her to focus on her daughter, which is correct. It is. She has not been there for her daughter. So she does need to rebuild that relationship. But like I said last week, taking a couple hours away is not gonna hurt anything. So
yeah,
maybe let you know, like, okay, we'll see each other more, but let's just still do the meetings thing slowly until I know for sure, until we know for sure this is what we want because you don't want to bring the daughter in this when she ain't even been there. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If she had been there the whole daughter's whole life, then maybe you could bring her soon. I don't know. But
yeah,
she hasn't been there, so to throw a man into it and
yeah.
then, and it's a little kid and she don't know. So
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. Now to jump back real quick on like when we were talking about Lacey and Shane, and we were like, if she's going to forgive him for cheating, she needs to forgive him and let it go. So for me, what I want to see from Shawn is Shawn, she didn't ask you to move there to be with her. Stop throwing it in her face every phone call. Every time we see him on camera talking to her, he's throwing that in her face. She didn't ask you to do that.
Right.
Mhm.
So you can't hold that over her head.
Especially with all the lies he done told.
Right.
Yes.
And he still ain't became honest with his stuff.
I mean, he might do it next week, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
And
But
what kills me is all these people lying about their ages. We got
oh my
Shawn
gosh.
doing it, Anissa did it, Brittany. I mean, when will these folks tell the truth about their ages?
The only one we know is lying is him. So
Oh, okay. So we just go overlook what we seeing with our own eyes. We just go
what he's
overlook that.
saying, I mean,
We
Well,
just go
know
speed
why
past like we ain't seen
Nissa
our
looks so
moment.
old. She just
I was gonna wait till you talked about them people to go ahead on and say I agree with you. I think she is lying about her age.
Ah, yes. Finally.
Yep,
Finally.
she's 20.
Finally.
She's 23. Because she act like a doggone baby. She acts so
You know what? She's immature, like a 23-year-old.
23, an immature
In
woman.
the face of a 50-year-old. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'm sorry, because I think I cut you off, Racy.
so I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really much to them other than the fact that he gave her an ultimatum, and I'm with Shawn all day. Like, I don't think he was wrong for that. Like, I do think he's wrong for continuously throwing it in her face that that you haven't that you moved there for her. But the fact that it has been 2 months and you ain't even went on a date, like, dude just asked me to come meet me for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, that brightened up his day. She don't owe you no more than just coming and hanging out, but just to say, hey, meet me for dinner, whatever, you can go home after that. Then I don't see why she can't do that. But I do think he need to shut up with the whole moving there because that was all on him. And once he told her what he left, because he said, I left, I gave up everything. Once I found out this dude gave up 6 kids, the job, well, the job don't matter because he got another job.
You know
But
what? Yeah, if he's actually doing right by those kids, I could see him bringing those kids up. But you don't like the kids shouldn't be a scenario for him because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do by them.
And
I
plus,
think
real reason why the kids should because she don't know he have kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Well, he ain't brought it up yet, but
yeah, but they've been talking on the phone for 2 months and been together the jail thing for a year, and you ain't bring up all 6 of your kids. So don't be holding that against that woman.
oh yeah. No, I mean, and we seen in the preview, she made comments about that, like, "Whoa, you've been lying to me too." I don't know if it was the age or the kids thing, but
The age.
yeah. But I mean, shoot, she gonna get a few more whammies because you know what I'm saying. Like to me, that kids thing is gonna be bigger than the age because obviously these aren't just all little kids. I mean, all grown kids, you know.
Mhm.
But the other thing too was just that I felt like when she said he was like, "Can I want to meet your family or whatever?" And then she's like, you can go with me tanning." I was like, what kind of trade-off is that? That right there alone made me sick of them. I'm like, if he go along with that, I'm like, you good. I'm gonna pay for this and then I'm gonna go home. What I would have said, I'm like, nah, you good. You can go tanning.
Nah, he ain't.
I know he want to be around her as much as he can. She came out with that makeup and threw him for a loop. Because he said he saw that freshly dyed hair. He's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He trying to get as much time as he can, even if it's just sitting outside while she's sitting in the tanning booth, I guess. And I'm like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
He's being the type to do all that he can to get the cookie, and then we'll see what he do after.
Well, she was promising it all this sexual stuff, talking all this sexual trash, and now she don't want to, follow through. So he's probably thinking in the back of his mind, yeah, I want that cornfield, field dream with you.
Well, legally he can't. He can't expect nothing because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you try to take it as rape, and then you can expect it. She can say, "I want to give it to you right now," but in the middle of it, and as soon as you pull them panties down, if she say no, you better pull them panties back up.
Hold on. Now, when Stan, I know it wasn't in this episode. However, when Stan,
I knew he was
you
going to
doggone right. Because you all, both of you two was talking about Stan promised her this, Stan promised her that. He need to give her everything that she promised. So now,
I'm sorry. When it comes to our lady parts, there is no solidified promise for you.
if she promised to give it up, she need to give it up.
No, that promise is negotiable when it comes to our lady parts.
No, a promise is a promise.
Yes.
A promise is a promise.
I don't care if I promise to do backflips into that cornfield with you. No, with no panties on. That is not a promise that you can force me upon.
Hey, she built this house state. I feel like she fulfilled her duties. We talking about somebody just happened to change their mind. Okay, you changed your mind.
So Stan can't change his mind. Stan couldn't change.
She did everything else.
Huh?
She moved in with him. She did more with her girls doing. I feel like it's kind of like Deontay. Like, oh girl, at the end of the day, should she give it up because of what he's done? Yeah, she should because she ain't did nothing else for him in return. However, does she have to? No.
Very interesting.
She don't have to give him no booty. Like what she can do, she can pay him back.
I mean, she's not. Yeah, she could pay him back for any financial gain that she gained. But if she's not attracted to him and wouldn't feel comfortable giving it to him, that's a whole nother thing. Now, Stan, what he wants is to turn Lisa into his own personal boy toy, and I don't think that's right either.
I'm saying, is Lisa even getting anything out of this? Because from what we are seeing,
think she is.
He ain't put his mouth on her yet.
I done zipping up my thing because I had nothing else to say about it. Because obviously there's no convincing.
Well, I'm still talking about it because we're gonna bring it up.
Did not get
talk about it. You're gonna participate in it, Shawn. You're gonna participate in it.
No, I'm not participating in anything because.
Oh yes, you will. Oh yes, you will. Oh yes, you will. You promised to come on here and be a panelist. You made a promise.
I made a promise to what?
To come on here and to talk about love, life after lockup. You made a promise.
You don't even know
you need to fulfill the promise. You need to fulfill it.
First of all,
I made a promise to talk about the last season. I ain't make a promise for this one.
You did.
Oh, really?
No promises.
Really?
I kept my promise. My promise was last season, so I
No,
kept my promise.
Your promise,
Yeah,
it carried over.
my
It
promise. My
carried
promise was
over.
fulfilled. Nah, ain't no carry on. That's why you froze it.
Rose.
You know what? I will unfreeze myself. And okay, no, you made a promise.
Freeze.
Since you want to talk about people keeping promises, I need you to keep your promise, and we're gonna talk about Stan. Now, dear Reese, you have
Yes,
something to say about
froze
Stan?
it again. Leave
Yeah,
Stan
I
alone.
did.
Leave Stan alone. Johnny, you
You
didn't.
brought it up. You brought it up. Since we brought it up, and we're gonna talk about
Don't
it.
try to drag Johnny on your side.
Oh no, I'm not dragging on my side. I'm just saying y'all gave Stan a hard time about keeping a promise. Now is
You won't even keep your promises.
what promise I kept? What promise I made? Because I never made a promise.
You did.
No, I never said I promised to come on the show. I agreed to come on.
You promised. At least I took it as a promise. So, all right.
And
I never saw Lisa.
I agreed to come on Life After Lockup. So I fulfilled my promise.
I never saw Lisa promise to be Stan's personal pig. I never saw that. But
No,
that's
I'm not talking about Lisa though. I'm talking about how the both of you all in the beginning, because y'all kept on saying that Stan had promised to give Lisa the money for the car.
he did. He promised her
all that stuff before he gave it to her. And we didn't know if he was going to do it. But the two of you all kept on saying that he promised and he needs to give her what he promised.
And he did. And he did to. And he did
so, if that is a binding contract because he promised.
It was a binding contract. We just said
it
this
was a
girl over here
verbal
milking your
contract.
prostate. You don't want to go get her the car. You ain't gonna find people that's gonna be doing that all the time. This girl milking his prostate. I'm sorry. As soon as I found out she did that, it's a done deal. Like you go get that girl that car. She deserves that car.
Yeah, go get her condo too. That girl deserves the world for milking your prostate, honey.
That was after. We not know anything about the milking of the prostate until later. But you all in the beginning.
Oh, we know. We can't ignore that.
So now
you talk about Stan so bad. He's supposedly rich. I'm just saying he a little cheapskate for somebody who you know what I'm saying. You got all these broke people going broker for these girls, and then here you go, this man who's supposedly so rich or got so much money, and you can't even get her a little $10,000 car, but yet you want your prostate milked every time she turn around. Well, what's she getting?
Every time she turn around, he want it on demand. She better run down those stairs as soon as he mentions it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see where this argument is going, and
no, I never said, "Oh, girl." She talked about it.
I surrender.
Expectations.
I surrender.
Yes. Hold on, but I'm saying, so I get it. Like there's expectations for a girl to give it up, but I'm just saying. So when you uproot your life and move for some booty, if you don't get it, you cannot get that mad about not getting the booty. You chose to go ahead and spend that money on her. You chose to be in this relationship with a convict. So when she don't do what you expect her to do, you know what I'm saying? You can't get mad. She didn't say move here and be with me and all this other stuff. He did that on his own.
Right, and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
can you imagine if a man just uprooted his life based on your words?
Yeah, I mean, and then
no actions, just based on your words. Y'all have never met, no chemistry, and this dude up and moved across the United States. I think that would freak me out too. I think the more she kept being around him, I think it just freaked her out personally. I think she was just like, I can't do this. This is just too much, too fast, too soon.
Mm-hmm. And the mugshot, that wasn't even that great of a picture. Like she looked angry and scary. And I'm like, you uprooted for this picture?
That, and she killed somebody.
Yes.
So
Oh, and what killed me was when they were showing like her rap sheet. But I don't know, maybe she pleaded out the charge of the robbery charge, but she also robbed that guy after he was killed. So I was like, why didn't y'all show that when y'all were going down her little rap sheet?
Yeah.
I thought she didn't get charged for that.
She
I
did.
don't think she did. The other people got charged for it or
She got
something.
charged for it
The
was it
manslaughter,
involuntary manslaughter?
involuntary, yeah,
She may have
because
taken
it
a
was an
pill.
overdose, but she did it on like I guess she overdosed him though.
Yeah, she's the one who administered the drug.
Yeah. So I mean, again, like we said, I get it. Ain't a just brutal murder, but a murder, manslaughter, whatever. You
And
know,
then
and
she
I
wants to
ain't
sleep with you in a cornfield. I would have.
saying,
That doesn't even sound right. You're going to meet a person out of jail who wants to sleep with you in a cornfield, and she killed somebody. I don't think that lines up to having good times.
I'm
And
pretty
maybe
sure he would have did it in the
I
daylight.
personally feel she just got nervous. And I think she was just like, let me get to know him more. Because
mhm.
they were talking on and off, and then they stopped talking right when he started dating Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picked it back up. So I think she just really freaked out. You can always talk big and bad on the phone, but then when you meet the
Mhm.
person, you're like, huh, I don't think this is what I want. Just like when
Yeah,
I met
or
this
you get
dude and
around the person and you see that, oh, this guy is a
there's no
little,
chemistry.
yeah.
I met this dude in Colorado. Thought I was gonna do all kinds of things to the man. I barely wanted him to touch me.
I
No
mean, she
stuff.
still like she attracted because she went straight and kissed him in the mouth, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
didn't even do all that. Once I saw his
Right? If
teeth,
you
I
think
was
about it,
like,
Nicole has been
why?
kissing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nicole has been kissing Deontay in the mouth though, and we all know
Nicole
she
kissed
don't play.
everybody in the mouth though. She kissed
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why she
everybody.
got COVID all those times. Like,
Nicole just does what she needs to do.
Mhm.
Uh them two, they just got issue. Well, I don't know. I do think they are annoying, but I think she's a little bit more she acts like a typical person who just doesn't know what they want,
Mm-hmm.
which is why she keeps changing her mind so much. So it's like, maybe he is a good guy. I have been talking to him every day. Can you imagine talking to somebody every day for 2 months and not see them or not interact with them? That's the whole point of dating and getting to know one another. So,
yeah,
Yeah, if you're in the same city, it's definitely weird.
yeah, there's now, of course, I'm a big advocate of kids not meeting your significant other until you're comfortable with your significant other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think if a man pushes that too much, I shut down anyway. So I wouldn't.
Mhm.
He would never meet my kids if he pushes like that. But I I don't have much to say about them.
Yeah.
They're both special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the fact
yeah.
that he kept on pushing and pushing, I was like, dude, let it go. When she's
Yeah,
ready,
he's
because
like
he.
emotionally raping her.
Okay, that's a new one for me. Emotionally raping her.
Yeah,
She's
he
not
forcefully is.
he is
Yeah.
forcing his emotions on her, and
Yes.
she keeps trying to let him know, like, I like you, I want to get to know you, but you are making things so hard because you keep doing this. I didn't ask you to move here. I didn't
Mhm.
ask you to do these things.
But Joni, come on now, come on now. I done
What?
moved
Oh,
all the way from Ohio to be with you. Come on now, let me meet your kids. I want to meet your kids.
No,
No, so
not
don't
happening.
say no. I don't want to hear no. I said I done
Not
moved. I
happening.
done gave up my job, my house, my 6 kids that I refuse to see because they want too much. But I want to see your kids and your dog.
No.
I want
And
to be
then
there for
can
you
you
and your dog.
imagine if she did let him meet her daughter, and then
Mhm.
find out that this man has 6 kids he don't deal with, that he's
Uh-huh.
just financially responsible for?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because then that's what you're gonna do to her. You're gonna say, "Well, you only knew her for 2 months, so it wouldn't." Yeah, you can let her
Let
let
me
her
move on over here. You don't need.
yeah.
if she's
I
paying
Mom
with
just
your
doing a good job.
money.
these things are so crazy. Like part of me wants to just go through the experience to see would I really fall in love with an inmate, and would I have him move into my house and lock him down for a year in my house with my boys and just see if I could really come up with the thousands of dollars to put in his pocket when I want to get a fence and all kinds of stuff for my house. Like I really want to know what words can be said that would make me go like super crazy like that.
I think if they are picking up on, especially that person's insecurity levels, and figuring out, what it is that they want, because probably when Ray was locked up, he was probably telling Brittany, I want to get married, I want to have kids, and because that's what she's wanting, she's hearing that as, oh, he wants that with me. So when he gets out, I need to make sure I can keep him around so he'll give me what I want. That's what I'm almost thinking is going on.
I really think I might just start this whole thing just to see if I will move across the states and go be with the man who just got out of jail and chase him down and just be like, come on. You said, no, I didn't ask you to move here, but you took my money.
Now, when you go through the pages, make sure you pick out the one that looked the
I
roughest.
will give y'all, you know what? Y'all will have first interviews to watch my mind go crazy.
Okay.
It don't seem like it's the men are just move in with you though. They don't seem like they had a problem with it. It's the
I
women.
know.
They
Yeah.
can't get the women to come on and do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
The women are like, nah.
Oh yeah, these
that's
women are
not.
putting their foot down. They're like, I don't care what I told you when I was in prison. This is how it's gonna be now.
Mhm.
Look, yeah, you can do that, and then we can chronicle it on here. Yeah,
Yeah. Let me start that up. Let me
Yeah.
start that up.
The men are
look,
like, all right, let's
we
go.
can let our viewers pick out your top three. Let the viewers figure out who should be the number one guy.
Yeah. Do that for me. Send me an inmate to date.
Yes. We call it
That's getting
the
out. He
Bachelorette
has to be getting out
Johnny.
within the next 6 months, you guys.
Mhm.
Yep, absolutely. Or
Do
if
you
you
care if
are
he
an
got cheese?
inmate about to be released and would
Yeah.
like to date Johnny, we
Do
want to hear
he
from
look? Does he need teeth?
No, he's got to have teeth.
Oh, okay.
Teeth, a few body tattoos, not all over the place. Don't want them on your face. It can be any crime. I'm good to
any
go.
crime. Are you sure
Any
about that?
crime. Well, outside of molesting children.
Okay.
Outside of that,
Or raping
I
women.
have to draw a firm line there. But anything else, I'm good.
What about raping women? Let's say no to raping women, right? Because we don't want him to get mad at you and then try to violate you. How about rape of women? We say no, right?
What kind of rape?
Oh
Mental
no!
I like it,
There's
bitch.
different types
Emotional.
of rape.
Emotional
I'll
rape.
be okay with
Emotional rape.
some. Not,
Yeah, you
not
don't
like
want that
holding a
emotional
knife
rape.
to my neck rape. No. But because
You
I
know, what about
consented
that
and then took
emotional
away
rape?
the consent, I could deal with that kind of rape.
Look, Sean said emotional rape. You want that? I don't know. That might be worse
I
than
don't
an
know about
abuser.
emotional rape. I'm not good with emotions.
That might be worse than an abuser. You like, dang, just hit me, shoot.
I know.
What about recovering drug addicts? Are we going to say no to that?
Well, I
You
mean,
trying
it
to
seems
limit
like
the
most
pool
of the
all the
men
way
on here are
down?
recovering drug addicts, so I think I should be okay.
Look, in a minute, ain't gonna be nobody left.
Exactly. Oh goodness.
They need teeth.
They have to have teeth. I'm sorry, you gotta have teeth. I can't do nothing with no teeth.
Yeah.
Gotta have teeth. And straight teeth.
Well, if they have a pair of dentures, then they would have straight teeth.
No, because then they go to home, they go to bed at night with no teeth, and that's just no. I can't wake up to somebody's mouth sunk in their face. Like it's the worst.
Oh well.
like you 30 something years old, you 40 years old, your mouth sunk in like you 80. What is this?
Yeah, like can't do it. Can't do it. You wake up and roll over and you're like, whoa, look like a skeleton or something over there. Laid out. Nah, I'm good.
You go with that one? Okay. All right. So our next couple, which we kind of spoke on them indirectly, Brittany and Ray. Okay. So the scene opens up. Brittany and Ray are headed over to Brittany's mom's house. And it looks like it's kind of unexpected. Mike could possibly be unannounced.
She said it was unannounced.
I'm sorry?
She said it was unannounced. They didn't let her know they were coming.
Yeah. And so when they arrive at the house, she asks Ray to stay in the car. Which for me, like, no, don't drive me anywhere where I have to stay in the car. Like, I don't care. No, I need to be able to get out the car. But whatever. Okay, so she goes in to talk to her mom, and so she tells her mom that Ray is out in the car, and the mom is like, no, she's not interested in meeting him. And she starts saying she wants to see Ray hold down a job for like 3 months, and if he doesn't get fired or quit or whatever, then she feels like then he must be good or whatever if that happens. But what tripped me out about this scene is the dad standing off in the background, and then he pops out and he's like agreeing with the mom. But I'm like, but dad, you already met right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What you're doing too much. Dad, go sit down. Go sit down somewhere, Dad.
Not have told he met her. Met him.
Yeah, it clearly I don't think he
No, he ain't gonna tell
remotely
that
told her.
woman he met that man.
Yeah, he ain't gonna tell her that.
He wants to sleep in his bed.
I know, right?
He looked like the type that would kick him out that bed too.
Yeah.
Tell him you got 3 months on the sofa.
Yeah, that would be a
Bring
lot
me
of
a drink
punishment.
too before you get out.
Yeah, and so Brittany goes back out to the car where Ray is, and Ray's looking at her, like okay, because she gets in the car and just sits down. Then she starts telling him that her mom has declined to meet him, and that she wants to see 3 paycheck stubs. I didn't like the way she said that to Ray because first of all, you made it look like your mom wants to see 3 of his paycheck stubs. That's not what your mom technically said. She was like, let's see him get to 3 checks. And if he can last at a job and receive at least 3 paychecks, then
No,
we know that he is
he could
capable of being.
because he get paid weekly. So
Weekly.
three
Yeah,
three
That's
paychecks.
3
Bam.
weeks.
Here you go, mama. 3 paychecks. Go on about the business.
yeah. But what
This
I
time
don't like
he
about it
just
is,
stay in the car. He just get out. They walk to the door. 3 paychecks. Walk in.
I know Ray need to walk up to that door. Boom, boom, boom. I got that 3 paychecks for you. Boom, boom, boom. Open up.
I got 3 paychecks and I got fired. Bam.
Okay.
Coming on in.
I know. Shoot. So, yeah, so she tells Ray, and you can kind of see, like, on Ray's face, he's bothered that the mom doesn't want to meet him. But I feel like part of what he's feeling is Brittany's fault.
Mm-hmm.
She's still bringing the whole situation with Ray to her mom wrong. I feel like the way she's portraying her mom to Ray is wrong. Um, it's just like the whole thing, the way she's just handling everything is very immature and just wrong.
Mhm.
Okay, so they arrive back at Brittany's house, and Brittany is immediately trying to get her a piece, talking about she's ovulating.
It's that time.
Wait, I didn't realize that 50-plus-year-old women ovulate, but hey, I learned something new. I did not know that.
Yeah, on TikTok, Tisha Campbell said she was still having her cycle. She's 53. So, yeah.
Not everybody
That's what Tisha
menopause
Campbell
early.
was complaining about on TikTok.
I've heard that too with some older women. They were like, I'm still getting this. I was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
that would be annoying. I'd be like, go on hysterectomy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, you want a partial, ma'am? No, give me a full one. I want this gone now at this point. This is too much. That's good.
Look at you, we acting like Ashley.
I guess we are.
I said TMI, y'all. Ashley's. TMI, Ashley's.
No, I would have been acting like Ashley if I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to the doctor and tell him, look, my ovaries are right down here. I can feel them.
Is this an ovary hanging out? Take it out.
Yeah. Hanging out. Just snatch them. Yeah. I'm sorry, Shawn, if make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've heard worse.
Yeah. And so Ray tells Brittany he's not in the mood tonight. Of course, Brittany's upset and she's like, I need it now. And, she really wants to go ahead and do the deed. But Ray he's strong against it. And I feel it. Like, you just got done telling me your mom won't even meet me. She won't come to the door to wave at me, won't let me go to the door to wave at her. Like, how did you really expect him to feel? Like, is she really that lost?
Told you she's immature. She's 23.
I mean, this immaturity, she's just taking it too far. I feel like it's just going too far. Like, sis, like, girl. And, told Ray, because Ray said he feels like he's not good enough. And she's like, well, you're good enough for me. And, and I don't have much longer to do this.
Oh my god.
And she also reveals they've been trying and I wonder if they're truly trying or they're just having a lot of sex. Maybe Brittany thinks they're trying and Ray is just having his way. I don't know. What do y'all guys think? I think I've taken enough of that.
So
Oh my god.
so this couple is probably like one of my favorites because first of all, Ray is kind of like those women that just stand their ground. And I'm like, I give it to Ray. He's constantly standing his ground, and I'm glad because I do feel like if he let her get her way all the time, she'll get a little out of hand. So but first of all, the fact that they went over there unannounced. If you're gonna do it, go big or go home. He should have been at the door with her. If you're gonna just show up unannounced, just do it. Go big or go home. Sorry, just do it. Don't ring the door. Don't use your key. Maybe knock and then just go do it. Because I'm with you. Like it's kind of like I get why she said wait, but the fact that he didn't get a chance to even come in, she didn't come say hi. It just to me it wasted his time. So go big or go home on that one. And then the dad, yeah, he annoyed me in the corner because I'm like, okay, shut up. We already got your. We're not even worried about you because obviously you're gonna accept it if you got to. Whatever the mom says, is what you're gonna do. So now he needs to win the mom. He ain't worried about you. Then when she gets back to the house and she's like, oh, we need to do it. You know, I'm with you. Like, I'm sorry, your mom just completely disrespected me once again because now she's got demands. I ain't even messing with your mom. You know what I'm saying? I just want your mom to meet me to see that I'm not some old crazy dude. Yeah, I might have a bad, a track record as far as legal problems, but if you can't get past that at all, period, and just at least say hello, you know what I mean? Like at least I get that to the dad. He did that, even though it was a setup still too. I know she likes to set her parents up, so like
Yeah, she does.
yeah, it's always setups. It's never planned. Like in his family just fully embraced her. So if I was him, I wouldn't have been attracted to that either because I'd be like, look, my whole family loves you or likes you or tolerates you, whatever the case is. And we still going through this with your family. And then the whole 3 paycheck, regardless if she says, show me the stubs or let me see you making 3 months or show me 3 checks. It ain't her business, man. That part, she should have said, look, either you accept him or not. And if you don't accept him, this is who I'm gonna be with. So then I guess we're gonna be estranged also until you're willing to do this. Because obviously, you know what I'm saying, I get what you're saying, but at 30 something years old, you gotta let her fall and bump her head, or you know what I'm saying? Like you can't control that much of that girl's life. She don't live with y'all. She don't, you know what I'm saying? If you try to bring this dude in the house to live in your house, that's different. But like Ray said, okay, we have a baby and then she won't accept me, then what? Like now we got this baby, she's gonna be even more mad. So like I completely see where Ray's coming from and I wouldn't slept with her either. Like, hey, if I want something later, I'll give it to you. If not, you ain't getting nothing. That's how I want it. And then she's talking about this secret. I don't know if you mentioned that secret she got. I'm like, so
I want to know what that secret is.
I feel like whatever that secret is involving her fertility. So I'm wondering what happened with the dude that she was with, because she's so scared that she can't have a kid. And I get it, but if you've also never really tried, and 2 months honestly is not a long time unless she wasn't on any sort of birth control, then maybe you do have a problem, or Ray could have a problem. You never know. But I'm wondering, like, did she have an abortion or something, or did something like I don't know?
Well, they've alluded, or did they say that he was physically abusive to her? He was physically abusive. So maybe he kicked her or hit her in the wrong type of way, and there was some damage done to something.
Yeah, like she could have been pregnant and maybe lost a baby with him or something, and that's why she's so scared that, or maybe there's something medically where the doctors have told her, if you don't have a baby soon, it's gonna be you're not gonna be able to have one. Because I've seen that too. So I'm just wondering, because whatever it is, it's life changing apparently. So, yeah. And then just as a little side note, like I have seen like some live videos and stuff, and she said the show does make it one-sided. Like Ray really does want to have a kid too, but the show makes it seem like.
And I believe that he wants him, but I believe she's rushing him.
Yeah. I feel like, and then too, I also agreed with one thing that he said. He was like, the stress of you being like, okay, come on, let's do it now. I'll be like, right now, let's do it right now, can also make it hard Two, because if you're stressing yourself like this mentally, then you're stressing your body, which in
Right.
turn might be why she's not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And two, every time somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's some people fertile, some people are not. Like, just because you have sex, don't mean you don't get pregnant.
Right.
That's my opinion.
I have no words. That mother, oh my gosh.
Annoying.
She is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, your daughter's already been living with this man for almost a year, if not over a year, I believe. So if he was going to do anything to her or against her, he would have already done that. And I understand that she doesn't necessarily know that maybe he couldn't work while he was on probation or whatever, in-house,
Mm-hmm. The
Right.
house
whatever it was, that he probably couldn't work, and she may not know that. But the audacity to put yourself so high on this pedestal
Mm-hmm.
that you can't meet somebody and just say hello. And you're not even a real woman, because if that's really how you felt, you should say that shit to his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my daughter were to do this, okay, you want me to meet them? Fine, bring them here. But understand there will be a conversation. And at that point, I will let you know what I see you as. And maybe as we communicate, then I'll learn your side. And then I can make these decisions or make these judgments about you. You know, I thought it was so funny how she walks into that yellow brick road house, and his family lives way better than she did. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he comes from way better of an upbringing than you ever provided your kids. So the idea that she just has this holier than now judgment on him really bothered me. I was
Mm-hmm.
I was
Absolutely. But
totally
yeah,
annoyed and disgusted with that, because she's just dead ass wrong.
she
Just
is.
wrong.
And you know what this whole scenario reminds me of? The issue is that you could tell Brittany's mom was a very overbearing mom and was very controlling upon her children's lives. And now they're grown. They don't really necessarily know how to make the proper decisions. Like Brittany right now is just trying to get pregnant by this guy. She doesn't even necessarily, it's by any means necessary. She's just trying to get pregnant by him instead of going the right way about this because she hasn't been allowed to make decisions on her own. And sometimes when you're overbearing upon your children to the point that they don't get to learn how to make mistakes or how to make their own decisions where they're not making mistakes, then this is what happens. Then for the rest of their lives, you feel like you got to tell them what to do.
She
Now
overbearing on
she's
her
the
dad
baby,
too.
right? Isn't she the baby?
She
I'm
might.
not
Isn't
sure.
Brittany the baby?
She
I
overbearing on her dad too. You see how scared he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
she's like I
yeah.
said, she's
She's very controlling.
horrible.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'm sorry. If I saw that he lived better than my kids lived, I'd be like, maybe I need to back off my judgment here. And I know that she hasn't, but we've seen it. We know where he's come from. We know the family that he's had, and
Yeah.
we know his story. And the fact that, and this is all Brittany's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, be a freaking woman, because I don't say the F word, but be a freaking woman and tell your mama what it really is. This is my man. This is how it's going to be. He couldn't work because he was on parole. Yes, I decided to take care of him. That was my choice.
Right.
I don't, at the end of the day, to each his own with everything that people do. But that right there, she just irritated me so bad. Like, I just,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I can't believe, and I just can't believe she allows her mom to think that way, not
Yeah,
only of
because that's the
him,
problem. Yeah.
but of
Because she,
her.
yeah, the mom is like, I need to see that he can do la la la. Why don't you speak up for your man? You supposedly, my man comes first. Okay, well, speak up for
If
him
this
because
is
your
who you,
mom has the wrong idea about your man and you're doing nothing to correct
nothing to fix it. And you want this man to be your baby daddy. You want him to be
Mm-hmm.
your freaking husband. And you can't stand up for him in your freaking 30s, 40s, however old she is.
it. 50?
It be now if she really is 23, I totally get it, Sean, because that would make sense why you don't feel like you can say your piece to your mother because you're both adults. But if she's really 30, 40,
50.
sitting there taking it, 50, taking it like that, and I don't think she's 50 because the mom's at least
at least 60.
60.
I think the mom in like 50s to
She's in
60s.
her 60s.
That mom, you know what, Reese? You just went too far. You went too far. That mom is not in her 50s. That's not. I'm gonna put together a little collage. I'm gonna put together a collage. It's gonna have a woman in her 20s, a woman in her 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I may even go up to 70, so we cover Anissa.
I've seen women
y'all
now
can-
70 and look like they like 30. So what you talking about? People can
Who
look
looks like they're 30?
I seen this chick on TikTok that was like, she was like 60 and she looked like she's about 30. So I'm saying people can look younger or older. And I ain't saying her mom just look terrible. I think her mom needed a new hairstyle.
I don't think her mom looks terrible. I think she looks like a solid 60.
Yeah, because I work with this woman and she's 64, but she looks like she's in her 40s.
I mean, I hear all the time people think I'm in my early 20s. So I get it to a certain extent, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
So when people ask your age, what do you tell people? Do you tell them the truth or do you give them a number?
You know what? I am very proud of my age, so I'm always honest. I get told I look, they say my sister looks older than me and she's the baby.
I get that too.
You do not. You do not.
But I'm very proud of my age, so I don't lie about my age because I'm thankful to be on this world as long as I have, and I feel I look good. So it is what it is.
That's right.
Proud of mine too, but some people ain't like that.
Yeah, but I just like her mom was just.
I know
horrible.
Brittany is not like that. She won't tell her right age for nothing.
Some people just don't want to admit it, huh?
I mean, and
I don't know why.
I'm like, I wish her mom would change that wig out too. Like that drama me crazy.
I wish they'd repaint that damn house.
That's what I
felt like I was at the Wizard of Oz. Like we're sitting there just walking on the walls, follow the yellow brick road.
Because what I'll give you, Brittany, when she first started, the wig looked crazy. Her wig looks better. Her house is pretty. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got this big mansion, but she has a very nice house. And her hair and stuff is starting to change. She looks better. But then when you go to the mom's house, they all still, you know what I'm saying, that same old wig that you had on and life at the lockup or love at the lockup. I'm like, dang, if it's been a year, then change out your wig, get you a nice one too. Like, you know what I'm saying? She still look like the first episode. And I'm like, so don't sit here and judge nobody when you don't even act rich, other than you got an attitude. That's all it is. You don't act like a rich woman, or you know what I'm saying. You homely and you freaking just judgmental. I'm like,
how can you be that judgmental, looking like you're sitting on that couch in that yellow house? Like that just does not make sense to me. And I just was, like I said, I was totally taken aback about how Brittany allowed her to talk to her like that and to make those kind of requirements. Like like, who are you? That's all I kept saying. Who are you? I said the B word too, but I won't do that on here. But who are you? And then as far as Ray, I'm so glad Ray has the good head on his shoulders because he is not acting like a man who wants to be taken care of. He's not acting like a man who's trying to use her and all this kind of stuff. He really seems to care about her, but he does put her in her place, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, for her to allow her mom to say that when she knows how much Ray is stressing about trying to provide for their house and pay for restitution.
Yeah.
That was something else that really bothered me about that whole conversation. I'm like, this just doesn't make sense.
You know, we always talk about how, how it's always thought of how we bash our Black men or we say these negative things about our Black men and blah, 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 blah. But never. He is actually a man who's trying, and I can appreciate that so much more. And I would would not allow that to be disrespected to him like that, because I can see just by TV, but I really feel him. Like, I feel that he really is trying. I don't get a sense of playing games or doing anything, and he's actually a good man that you should be supporting. And she's just not doing that.
Yeah.
And I
And she's
don't understand
proud to
that, because
have
why
that.
would you even want a kid with this man? If your parents felt this way about him, and you do what your parents tell you, obviously, still at 40, why in the world would you still be with him? And then to tell him, but you're good enough for me.
If he was truly good enough for you, you would speak up for him.
Yeah, I think, and if anything, he actually, you are not good enough for him, because you are being, seriously, Leah, I'm trying to make a point. You're not good enough for him. And that's just what it is. And I think it's just crazy that I just think it's nuts. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then again, I'm sorry. It would have been hard for me to just sit in that car. I'm like, Brittany, you need to work this out where I can get out this car. I'm not going to be just sitting in your mom's driveway like some loser that can't come in the house. Like, no, you need to go and you need to handle this situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
She should have, she's horrible. She's horrible. She doesn't deserve him. And he needs to find somebody who deserves him, that embraces him, her family embraces him, and their family, and their families embrace each other, because
yeah.
he's clearly a family man. And that's what's super important here too. He wants to have that, and you can't even speak up properly to make sure he gets that. And I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
what
many women out there in Texas, Ray. I'm sure you can find another one.
mhm. So Sean, what did you think of me and Ray?
What about Georgia?
Huh?
I said, what about in Georgia? When
I'm sure
I'm
there
sure
are.
there's plenty of women who would be with him.
Especially now that we know Ray running around here breaking headboards.
I know. Yeah, especially out knowing he can put it down. Yep.
There's some
well,
women that probably pull up with a U-Haul truck to Brittany's house to get Ray out of there.
well, I don't blame the mother to a certain degree. Yeah. Because reason why.
I gotta hear this.
Yeah, I
Let me
understand.
close so I
Because
can
one,
really hear.
with her, she knows the type of relationship that her daughter had with the last fella. And Brittany is not giving her information. Well, it doesn't appear that Brittany is giving her any information to make her, the mother, think any different from the last guy. So Brittany it's Brittany's fault, because Brittany should have brought her mom in and told her mom a whole lot of stuff about Ray, so that she would have a better understanding of Ray is not the same guy as the person I was dating before. So the mom is being overprotective. She's trying to, I guess, protect her feelings as well as her daughter's, but protect her feelings in a way to where that she don't want to see her child go through that again, and she's just sitting back on the sideline, seeing it go on, seeing it happen. Now, yeah, they've been living together for a long time, so if something would have happened by now, the mom should be able to see that, okay, nothing happened, and maybe he's not a bad dude. But I don't think Brittany is just giving her enough information to help the mom come up with a reasonable thought of who Ray is. And then, too, another reason why I say I agree with the mother is because my daughter, my grandchild, the father, I was like, he's not welcome in my house. Because the thing was that my grandchild wasn't welcome in his house. So I'm like, if she can't go to your house, then I do not want that man ever in my house until he's able to allow his baby to go to his house. So that's why it's like, well, I can get the mom making her thing. 3 months, I don't know about the number and the paychecks and all that type of stuff, but I can see why she wants to hold off meeting.
But you know what, Sean? What I'll say is, like, I get what you're saying, but I feel like with Brittany's mom, like for you, you have a reason to say, okay, this man is not allowed in my house. But Brittany's mom hasn't given him a chance to make her say, you're not welcome in my house.
Yeah, but
That's just all I think.
she's going off of the last guy. That's the reason why she don't want to have anything to do with the man. So Brittany is messing up because Brittany should have said, well, no, he's not like this, and kept on saying, and like you all been saying, stand up for your man. And then that would have took away the thought of the mom that, okay, he's a bum, he's no good, because she only going off of what little information she has and what no information she has about Ray. Now, the father who have met Ray, he also was supposed to have been working on his wife because that what he told Brittany that, hey, I'll help you out and nudge mama a little bit to where she would at least want to meet him. Now, I don't know. He probably did try and she shut him down. And he's like, nope, I'm not messing up because she cooked my dinner and I want to make sure I continue to eat and sleep in the bed. We don't know why. He probably just had common sense and said, no, I'm not getting between that. That's between y'all two and I'm going to mind my own business.
Yeah, because the way he was standing in the corner talking trash.
Right.
I don't think he went to the mom at all.
I think he probably came out also to be like, oh yeah, and I care about you. And he's looking at his daughters like, please don't tell mama that I seen him already. Probably doing the eye contact. It's like, don't tell on me. So so that was that. Now, sitting in the car for an hour, I'd have knocked on that door and be like, hey, I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Call up and say, if I can't come in, then you need to come out right now so I go use the bathroom because I'm not going to be sitting in this car any longer. So I give him that on his patience on that part. And then if you, like he said, Reese said, go home or go big, we'd have just went there, knocked on the door, and Daddy came to the door and be like, hey, here's Ray. And then we went from there. Because the drive from sun up to sundown to get to the house and then sit an hour in the car and not go in and meet the people, that would be pretty much a big turnoff, especially since that's what the whole purpose of the trip was, for me to finally meet your mama. And on top of that, I don't know if he knew that the mama didn't know that they was coming over, because I wouldn't agree to go over there in the first place. To drive all the way over there just to sit in the car and wait till you talk to your mom and tell your mama, yeah, Ray's outside, let's meet. No, you should have did all that on the telephone.
Yeah, and then you saw how she got out the car. She was like, oh, I want you to wait right here.
Right.
So, cause she didn't even tell him that when we get there, you're going to have to sit in the car. So I'll tell you, I would have been acting up in so many kind of ways. And I would have got onto her right there at that point. Then when she had came out, like, okay, so you left me out here and your mom's inside trashing me? Like, I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that right there. And then when we get back to the house and now you wants to get it on and you pay for me to just turn it on. But I already been dissed by your mom and disappointment. I done drove all this time over there and then I sat in the car. I'm just emotionally, I'm not into it. And
if she wanted somebody to just drive her over there, she could have took an Uber. She didn't have to drag that man along with her. And then to get home, now she wants to be impregnated by you.
And then he talking about I'm not a sperm bank or a sperm. And then she's like, but you mine. Not tonight. Close the business.
I was like, she was just slapping this man over and over in the face, and he was managing to keep his calm. I don't know that I could have kept my calm all the time.
Yeah. And so I just feel for Ray. I feel bad for him in with that whole scenario because that was a long drive to thinking that you get to meet someone and then to find out that you're not good enough for a person.
Yeah.
Not a good feeling. And even though she tried to say, well, you're good enough for me, that wasn't the whole point because if I'm not good enough for your mom, and if we have a child, I might not want my child to meet your mom either. Saying
Right.
I'm not,
Ooh, I didn't think about it from that viewpoint.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now when you wants to go over there, you're gonna be driving by yourself because my child is not going over
It's not going. That's right.
so, and that'd be the end of that. So I was like, it'd be best that we hold off on the sex because if we bring a child in this your thing, now she wants to be, oh, I thank you for bringing me a grandbaby. No, I wasn't good enough when I did not have a kid. Then I'm not good enough with this kid. And how you going to meet your grandkid? You can do Zoom. I don't even know if I let them do Zoom.
You gonna keep them off the Zoom too? Okay.
Yeah, because and then so we don't bring the baby in the situation. I would tell her, hey, we're not having sex until I meet your mom. And if I can't meet the mom, then we really need to rethink this.
Reevaluate.
Yeah, evaluate this relationship because obviously I'm a family guy and family is important. And if we bring in a child, you're going to want your family involved with our kid. But
Right.
I'm not going to want to have anything to do with your family because I wasn't good enough. So, so that right there, pretty much in a nutshell.
I'd take it another step and be like, make a choice.
Yeah.
Me and her.
Everybody else then gave ultimatums. They haven't had one yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I want to meet your mom.
Yeah. I'd be like, no wedding, no babies.
No, I'd be like, we get married. We got a family already. We good. They good.
Oh yeah, they can't come to the wedding.
No, I'm saying you cut them off then. If they don't want to meet me and they want you to cut me off, you want to be with me, you want this ring, cut them off then.
Cut them off.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those that feel they got a problem with it, bye. I'd be like, she got brothers, sisters, a mom, and a dad now. I bet they'll change their tune then.
I do think it's crazy how some adult women just still feel they're kids, that they can be told what to do by their parents. And I learned that a long time ago. I'm an adult. When I started paying my own bills, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
My life is how I see fit.
Because that's kind of what you tell kids, like, okay, you in my house, it's my rules. But then when you out on your own, you paying your own things, then you are really an adult.
Yeah.
So don't be disrespectful. Don't be this way in the house. And then, the other thing too, I'm like, she making it like I done taught you better. I taught you better. Well, your child, and when this is the second time she can get an inmate, so I don't know what you're teaching. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to stop bringing that up.
Yeah, where did she learn that from?
Yeah.
Right.
Her daddy.
Yeah, obviously, there has to be some type of disconnect from what you feel you taught your child and what she's actually doing.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect because,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like I said, we know his story. I can understand his story, and I can definitely empathize with him and how he grew up and what he endured and why he ended up falling the way he did. But I don't know her story enough to know why she dates inmates. Even though I think he's a great guy, he's still an inmate. I mean, it's not like she met him in the street. It'd be different to meet somebody outside of jail and then learn their story, but you met him in jail. So that's something with her, not necessarily him. But I'm saying as far as what you raised your daughter to be, she decided to look for inmates.
And that abuse thing, that's to me like whatever, because she can meet a regular man on the street that beat her worse than the inmate. That's why I'm like,
they won't go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
They don't have to be. That's what I'm saying. Her thought process is just because he was in jail, he's no good, and that's just not the situation. It's so funny because I was watching. Oh, Venom. That's what we saw. We went and saw Carnage yesterday, and I'm not telling the movie, but there was this one part where Venom. Has everybody watched Venom, the first one?
No, I haven't.
No. Do you care to see the first one, Nene?
I'm gonna watch it one day. I get.
What about you, Shawn?
Oh, I seen it.
Okay, so Venom likes eating heads, right? He eats heads because he needs the brains because that's what feeds his body. So they were walking around in prison, and he felt like he should have just been able to have a whole meal. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all bad guys. And the main character was like, no, they're not all bad. Some people are here because of certain circumstances, or they couldn't do this, or they couldn't do that. So I'm not saying that all inmates are bad. And I know it sometimes happens by circumstance, and it happens because of poverty or wrong place, wrong time type thing. So it's just, it's to go out and actually go look for it through that way is where it gets confusing. Happen to fall into it, happen to go to the grocery store and meet this nice looking guy and find out that's his past, that's a whole nother story. But that's
Right.
not her story. And you're sitting there telling her you raised her better, but obviously you didn't.
But
She's
the whole
lacking
thing is,
something.
again, if Brittany would just explain what his situation is, then she would realize why Brittany wants this man. And I think that's what she's failing to realize is there's something attracting her daughter. If you raised her better, then there's got to be something good in him to attract her. Or are you saying every man that your daughter attracts is garbage? Because that's
Right.
kind of coming off that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Brittany
Now,
talked to Ray and tell Ray why her mom feels that way. I don't know if they had that conversation. So, then that way Ray would be a little bit more understanding of the mom.
How can he be understanding to your mom thinking that he's just this piece of trash that's using her daughter? That's pretty much what she thinks. She thinks he's just using her.
yeah,
And that's just not the case.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything you could explain to him to make him feel like, oh, it's okay because she thinks you're this.
yeah,
That's not going to make him feel better.
Well, not that part, because I don't think Ray knows that. But the fact that the mom don't want to meet him, just that part. The reason why mom don't want to meet you is because I used to date this inmate and he was abusive, and she just had the mindset that all inmates are bad.
I think
Oh, okay.
it must have been more than one man that she dealt with. Because I can't imagine, like, heck, even me. I have dated some people I should not have dated, but that's not a majority of them. That makes sense. So if my mom all of a sudden was feeling this way when I want to introduce her to a person, it's like, wait a minute. So you're judging everybody I ever date off of this one
One
character?
person.
Out of all of
I
them,
see what you're
it's
saying.
kind of weird to me about their situation. I'm wondering if there's more that Brittany is not telling us. Maybe there's been more than one inmate, or maybe there's been a lot of unsavory characters dealt with.
Mhm.
I don't know. But we have actually been on for 2 hours, and I think that's the end of the episode there. Yeah. So, do y'all have any other points or anything that you guys wanted to bring up and address in there? Okay. Well, I guess that is our show for today. So make sure you catch us every Saturday. We do Life After Lockup. And then on Mondays, we do recaps of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Right. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your way out. And as always, thank you for joining us and have a great day. Bye,
Bye.
y'all.